This style to math is over writing and solving inequalities in context, which just means it's real life stuff and we need to think about what is happening. So this particular question says Santiago has a points card for a movie theater. So a lot of times you'll go places with like a card or whatever. He receives 55 reward points just for signing up, 12.5 points for each visit, and he needs at least 160 points for a free movie ticket. Okay, so most of the time in these story problems, and I've said this before in other recordings, typically they have something that's set and doesn't change. And then they also will have something that changes like every day or month or week or every visit or whatever, every something. And so you tend to combine those things like, oh, I'm gonna earn my 55 points right off the bat, no matter how much I go to watch movies, I know I'm gonna get 55 points. Okay. Then in addition to that, I'm gonna get 12.5 points every time I go to the movie theater. So one movie is 12.5, two movies is 25, three movies is more. It's like you keep going, keep getting 12.5 points every single time more. Okay. So this is the set one. This is the one that's always changing. You still add them up and combine them to get like the total amount of points, but that's the general idea. So we're writing an inequality, not an equation, because an inequality is like, well, we could have a range of answers, right? It's going to be less than or greater than or equal to or whatever. So it says write and solve an inequality which can be used to determine X. They give you the variable they want you to use. That is going to represent the number of visits. So I almost wish they would have picked V, right? The number of visits Santiago can make to earn his first free movie ticket. So he has to get at least 160. So it's got to be equal to 160 or more than 160. It could be 161, 100. A million, it doesn't matter. Okay. So think about the things that they want you to know. Okay. You get 55 right off the bat. You get 12.5 every time you visit. It takes 160 to be the total cost for one free movie ticket. And then we're going to call each of it the number of visits X, not V. I still think it should be V. Okay. So knowing that, what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, that flat rate, I'm kind of giving the answer away here pretty quickly because they've got it out ready for us. And this is in the explanation. This is like after you get a question wrong, they'll show you the explanation. But 55 is that base amount, okay? 12.5 points per visit. So we're going to add these up and combine them. And they have to either equal 160, so that's that straight line, or be bigger than that amount, right? So your alligator would need to eat the points, not the 160. If this amount has to be bigger than 160, the alligator is going to turn its head to those points. So combine them. So this is the inequality, that you would set up, and then you would just solve it. You would subtract 55 from both sides, and then you would, if it's beside it, divide it. 12.5 is divided by on both sides. And you can see that happening right here. And so X is going to be greater than or equal to 8.4 movie visits, right? So you don't usually go for 0.4 movie visits. So he would have to go to 9 whole movies, right? He'd have to pay to get into 9 movies to get that. And so they could advertise that. They could say, after 9 movies, you get a free movie. Your 10th movie is free. So that would be, one way of calculating that as well. So you have to put both of those answers in when you're solving a problem like that. Okay. So then the next problem says, the next example I've got is a group of friends wants to go to the it would help if I put the problem on the screen. A group of friends wants to go to the amusement park. They have no more than $200. So, right. So think about that. They have no more than that. They might have 200. They don't have more than that. So think of an amount that helps you. Maybe they have 150. Maybe they just have $5. That would be kind of a sad day at the amusement park, but it's possible. They have no more than $200 to spend on parking and admission. Parking is $11.50 flat, right? That's not changing. I don't care if you drive a huge car or a small car, it's just $11.50. And then tickets cost $36.25 per person, including tax. That's a pretty reasonable price. That's kind of a realistic problem right there. It's easy to drop money at an amusement park when they're, talk about food, right? My kids are like, cotton candy, ice cream cones. All right, so it says write and solve an inequality which can be used to determine X, the number of people who can go. Okay, so you're going to compare your flat rate and how much per person to this $200 amount, right? So flat rate plus the 200 sorry, the flat rate plus the 36.25 per person, you add those up, and compared to 200, this is not allowed to be more than the 200. Okay, it's got to be equal to or less than the 200. So what that looks like is, just kidding, it's not on that page. They just broke it down for you there, like I was doing. Okay. Okay. All right. I don't know if you can hear me because that's when things happen on my phone. There's like, it mutes me out or whatever. So I'm not going to re-record this all over again. So I'm just going to tell you that we have got that flat parking rate cost plus this much per person. Okay. X is how many people that are going. And that amount has to be compared to 200, either equal to it or smaller than that amount. Okay. So your alligator's not going to eat the people. Okay. Set that up and solve it. You subtract 11.5 from both sides, and then you divide away that 36.25. Okay. Undoing the constant, undoing the coefficient. I'm not really teaching that part of it because I've showed you that a couple times already. Okay. So you write your inequality and you solve it. The amount of people that can go are going to be less than or equal to 5.2 people. So I hope that you're not chopping anybody into tenths, 2/10 of a person, but it's going to be really the max people that could go with that cost would be 5 people, because you can't do a fraction of a person going. That would just be a bad day for everybody. All right. So good luck, have fun, go ride a roller coaster and think of me.